Yo, what's good? Next Gen Amolytics. Happy Friday, everybody. The 8th today. I'll give a quick little recap of Tuesday, then we'll move forward. We went 8 for 10 total, 4 for 5 on the top five. Freeman of the Dodgers sold that, and then Marte also of Arizona sold the sweep. Then we did hit our home run play, being Barger of Toronto out there in Colorado. So that was a good play there. And then yeah, just missed a sweep. Just missed a sweep. It was a good day overall, but just missed a sweep with Freeman and Marte. Spots where, again, it was another. We attacked McCullers on the 4th of July. Everybody on the Cubs decided to get a home run or get at least a hit against him, and that at that time Tucker didn't do it, and then this time only Freeman and I want to say the 9-hole hitter didn't get a hit against McCullough. So I don't know. I'm attacking the right pitcher, just not the right guy. And then Freeman, the next day has 3 hits. So it's just variance of the game. You live with it, but it sucks to say. But on today, I like starting out like Jeremy Pena of Houston, going against a rookie, Schindler of the Yankees. Yankees been horrible, recently. And I think, this is a spot for Houston. They got their ace on the mound. I believe they come out hitting. Pena's been hitting well since he came back. He's been back for 4 games, started 4 games at least. Has not 2+ bases, but 2+ hits. In 2 out of those 4, and then has 3 extra base knocks. Over the course of those games. So he's come back hitting well. He's hitting over 300 against both sides, being left-handed pitching and right-handed pitching. So I like him. Been attacking with him the whole year until he got injured. He was injured for about a month, so just came back not too long ago in that Boston series. Next up, I like Gunner of Baltimore going against Ginn of Oakland. Ginn really struggles with lefties. Let me pull that up real quick. So lefties having an over 1,000 OPS against him, 316 batting average. Quite naturally, he's a relief pitcher, but they're moving him into the starting role. He started his last, 3 games. Didn't pitch, bad against Houston. Gave up 3 base runners there. However, Houston, as you know, other than their newly acquired Jesus Sanchez, there are a bunch of right-handed bats in there, and he struggles against lefties. Went to Texas, gave up 6 base runners there, 1 home run, and then the Diamondbacks got to him last week, he gave up 9 base runners, 4 earned, 1 home run there. So on today, he's going to see a bunch of lefties in this Baltimore lineup. Being the top one, Gunner has a 906 OPS versus right-handed pitching, and quite naturally, I see them getting to Ginn. I see the Athletics getting to what's dude's name? Japanese pitcher for Baltimore. I don't know why his name just left my mind like that. Sugiyano. Yeah, Sugiyano. I see the Athletics getting to him as well. So it should be a high-scoring game here, I believe, across both these teams. But I like Gunner in this spot. Hits naturally better at home, too. Most people do. It's not like a groundbreaking stat, but his is kind of drastic, being a 907 OPS versus 725 OPS on the road. So I like Gunner here. Next up, I like Vlad of Toronto. Vlad's been hitting well. He's going against Kershaw today out there in Dodger Stadium. I believe this is a spot for Vlad to go crazy. He's been hitting left-handed pitching quite well this year. Has a let me find it. Has a 935 OPS versus left-handed pitching versus 862 versus right-handed pitching. I've been attacking Kershaw. Honestly, I've been attacking Kershaw. I've done it a couple times on here. Kershaw's a GOAT. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's going to the Hall of Fame for sure. But I feel like, as he's gotten older, um, he hasn't had it, at least this year. That's my opinion though. And so, you got this lineup from Toronto that's been hitting left-handed pitching, well, hitting all pitching really, but they hit left-handed pitching well. He's going to see, a couple at the top of that lineup being Schneider, Clement, Bichette, Vlad, that can hit Kirk, that can hit left-handed pitching, and honestly, I think that Toronto's playing better than the Dodgers as a team right now. So I see them getting to Kershaw. It is him against Scherzer, so they're gonna pitch naturally better. Competition, brings the best out of everybody. But I still like Vlad here. I like him to keep it going. Really went crazy in that Rockies series there. Had, I want to say, 4 extra base knocks, and then like two of those games he had multiple hits. So I like this for Vlad, and I like him to just keep it going. Next up, I like Merrill of San Diego. Going against Buehler of Boston. What you know about Buehler? He really struggles with lefties. So he's going to see a couple, in this Padres lineup being Merrill, being Reyes. They just got O'Hearn. Cronenworth. He's going to see a couple here, and with Merrill, he's batting the 4th spot here, clean up. I've just been noticing his name, recently. I know it hasn't been the best year for him by any means. I'm not going to say that, but still hits both sides, decently well. Whether it be left-handed pitching or right-handed pitching, he's hitting them quite well. And so he has a 757 OPS versus right-handed pitching, 266 average. I know he's it's not the same numbers that he had last year. I'm not going to say that by any means, but I do believe this is a good matchup for him against Buehler. At home here, has 3 extra base knocks in his last 6 games. Hitting all those except for the very last one out in Arizona. I like this for him. I also like a Reyes in that lineup too. If you want to go with him, he's been someone that we've picked a lot. But in this spot, I like Merrill batting cleanup. Lastly, I like Dominic Smith of San Fran going against his old team, being Washington. He has Jake Irvin on the mound today. Smith, has been San Fran's best batter against right-handed pitching over the course of since he's been with them. Has a 792 OPS. I will say the slug is not there, like you would want it to be, being that he is a first baseman. Is making contact though, is making contact consistently. And as I mentioned, he's going against his old team here. Gets to see Jake Irvin, who really struggles with lefties. Let me pull him up real quick. So Irvin's giving up an 846 OPS. 2 left-handed batters. San Fran's got they're gonna have Devers, they're gonna have Smith, and the Lee, I think who Lee or something like that. Other than that, they really do not have any lefties. They traded away Yaz, so they really don't have any lefties. So these are the lefties that I'm focusing on. And Smith has been hitting quite well. Is on a let me bring him up. Is on a 10-game hitting streak. 11 if you count the last one that he just pinched hit in. I'm pretty sure they'd be counting those. So I like this for him. Returning home, is platoon, only bats against right-handed starters. So this is a spot for him. This is a spot where he needs to produce for the Giants. You got a dwindling, Washington team who really looks like they don't even want to be out there anymore. So Irvin's probably not going to have that much, run insurance behind him. So, I like this for Smith, and, against his old team, and against, his platoon side. Lastly, oh my, in order, I about said those in order that I like them. Yeah, I did say them in order, but I'll reiterate on that. Being I like Pena, Gunner, Vlad, Merrill, and then Smith in that order. And then my home run wise, I'm going to go with Sanchez, Jesus Sanchez. I just went with him, the other day, in which I didn't post on here, but I did post on my IG. He just missed it out in Miami. I thought he was going to get there. He had a dead center, 104, 105 off the bat. And it would have been out in 10 out of 30 parks. He's going to Yankee Stadium here. That short porch in right field, going against Schiller, who's giving up home runs. I watched him when he faced Seattle. I believe that was his first game though. Seattle, those lefties were getting to him. And I believe where Sanchez is in the lineup. He's in a good spot. Should be able to get one over in Yankees stadium there. But I like him. I'm doubling back there. If you've been paying attention on IG, like for some reason, folks like to pick him for a home run. And the very next day they want to get a home run. So that's why I'm doubling back here. And honestly, the Yaz, we picked Yaz on Wednesday, and he didn't. I ain't gonna say he just missed. He had two batted balls over 104 miles per hour. Just couldn't get any height to it, so lift to it. So doubling back here. That's my idea here with Jesus. But that's the top five. That's a homer. If you want to be notified when I post, please subscribe and turn on your notifications. Like, comment, share. But I will be posting, as I mentioned, on the IG, the top 10 and the 5 for the home runs. So follow there if you want to see the full list and be in tune when I recap as well. I hope you guys have a great day.